For those of you who don't know me, because I haven't been around that long, I am Doug Carey, and today's presentation is ice axes. I brought my wife's and mine, and so I'll go over the attributes and really what I look for, and there's alternative ideas out there, right, Steve? Yeah, there you go. So the first thing that's pretty critical is I use this as a walking stick for dealing with the ice and snow, or however you want to word it, on a steeper slope. So it's not, when it's hanging by my side, it doesn't touch the ground. Normally I like to have about an inch above where my bare foot sits. And on this particular one, to me it's really key is this end of it for driving through whatever you're trying to put it in. So it's called the pit. No, that's the
spike.
Spike. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, man. So you drive the spike in, and I use it a lot for like pulling myself up a hill. So this is my poor dear wife's, and this particular spike is basically, they took the ice axe shaft and they beveled it, and then they put a hardened tip on the end of it, and it doesn't go through near as well as this spike does. So when she's trying to belay herself pulling up a hill, and the surface cover, fancy words for that is like rime and other things, she has a much more difficult time punching through. But once you're through, it's this length, however far you drive it in, that holds you there while you're pulling yourself up. And in her case, it's a little bit shorter because she has a stature problem. So she's not here. So if anybody knows her at work, where's she working? I better not say.
It's being recorded now.
What's that?
It's being recorded.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks. So that's the big difference between the shaft and the spike ends. There's probably some other alternatives out there, but in all reality, I really like the sharp spike end because I can keep the point really sharp for busting through the top. Another thing is hers is lighter than mine. There are advantages to light, especially when you have to carry it. But when you're trying to punch through the rime again, or anything along those lines where the surface is fairly crusty, you like to have a little extra weight before it hits. If it's light, you might have to slam it a couple more times to get it all the way in to hold yourself. And then we get to the business end of the pick, or the business end, which in our field is the pick. And what's that? We're going to pick it up. I'm not a good public speaker.
Yes.
And the pick is actually what stops you, because we all go out there for self-arrest, to play self-arrest or arrest, and I had a class about 2 months ago where I had some people out doing self-arrest practice, and this gal had a really nice ice axe, and we were at Lisa's Bowl up in Hurricane, and she was going down Lisa's Bowl. Her pick was all the way through the rime into the snow, and she was right posture and everything, and she was accelerating down the hill. And it's like she hit a tree. It's like, fortunately it was the glancing blows, so we didn't have to cart her off or anything like that, but that's why I tried to figure out why in the world. I mean, it was like watching a jet ski. She's going down the hill and the snow is just arcing up in the air right behind her, and she's really got it dug in there great. And so I asked to see her axe when she was done, and she's a little bit shorter than me. And after you put your hand on the axe, because when you're in the belay mode, that's the free length that the pick is going to deal with, maybe a little bit of compression if you're dug in well. She only had about 1.25 inches after she put her hand on top. So the pick was really short.
What axe did she have?
What's that?
What axe did she have?
I think she had a Black Diamond.
Is it Black Diamond Ribbon Pro, or?
I don't know. But it didn't have, it was a pretty straightforward device. So that's,
hands like a boxer.
no, because there was, two Dougs are not as, or two Dougs are better than one.
No.
But, so that's something to consider when you're out buying one is like, look at how much pick you have left over after you have your gloved hand on it. Right, because that's really important. And the shaft length is a little bit important when you're trying to recover yourself going down the hill. But to me, the big thing was, in this case, was strictly due to the fact that she just wasn't, she was fully purchased and wasn't getting in deep enough. And she wasn't overweight, you know, she was a lean, mean climbing machine kind of thing. So, and then we all have leashes because you don't want it to get away from you. You don't want it chasing you down the hill, because if you get way ahead of it and then it catches up with you, it could be painful. As far as recovering the axe while you're sliding down the hill, that depends on how steep the hill is. I don't think I've ever heard anybody actually recovering it while they're fumbling, but it probably has happened, so I can't make that statement. So again, it's like a lot of it's personal preference, how long you want it to be. They got the really fancy ones out there with the curved bodies on them. I haven't really figured out what the curved body does. And yep, that's it. So like, if you're out there buying another one, make sure you get a long pick and think about how much weight you're going to be slamming through the rime and get the right spike. Thanks for that correction. Spike. Any questions?
Are you doing Mount St. Helens again this year?
Yes.
Okay.
In a dress?
Yeah, I'll bring it this time.
Yeah. Well, no. I hiked up with him this year, and coming down. If you guys plan on doing Mount St. Helens on Mother's Day, it's a long way down using your ice axe because you're using it as a brake. And I've never used my upper body so much, and I was in pain for days afterwards. So either, I don't know, do some workouts before or take a lot of breaks on the way down.
Ibuprofen first.
Yeah, ibuprofen, because it's a long thing.
Or skiing.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah.